Yo guys, how's it going? It's Uber Jack here with another video for you today, and as you can see by the description of the video, we're going to be talking about something that's very much a big topic of conversation at the moment, particularly in the market that I currently operate in, and it is to do with cross-bordering. Now, just to give people who might not be too sure about what that means, a quick description of it. So basically, in Wales, there are apparently 22 different licensing authorities or councils, or like areas, if you like, that you can operate in and get a license from, and they'll check your car out and this, that, and the other, and approve it. But then what can happen is you could get your license in sort of one of the areas. As I say, there's 22 across the whole of Wales. You could get your license in one of the areas, but then you could go into maybe one of the other areas and do work there, and you haven't necessarily been checked over by that council or by the licensing in the vehicle. It's all different, and that's really where the problem has arose, because drivers, in particular ones that are new to the scene and ones that are particularly then interested in Uber, I would say 90% of new drivers coming into the industry are going for Uber. There's no doubt about that. That's a certainty. It's the biggest taxi firm in the world, so there's no difference here in Wales. It's the biggest in Wales. It's the biggest in the UK. So that's where most people are going. So what drivers are doing, and I did this myself, and it's nothing, you're not doing anything other than what you're allowed to do currently by the current setups, and that is to review each area's licensing requirements, and then essentially going for the quickest and cheapest one. Because for Uber, they just want to know that you've got a private hire license and that your vehicle that you're going to be using is licensed and checked out and all safe, etc. So obviously, if you're even if you say this is area A and this is area B, even if you're living in area A but area B turns out to be £300 cheaper to get your private hire license, also 2 months early, almost 2 months quicker because the process is more streamlined, you're going to go to that area, because you know full well that you can still just work in this area if you want to, and then occasionally go there or whatever. That's how it works currently, so that's fine. There is problems arising where people are perhaps using cars older in certain areas. Not a problem for me. I got a 2015 vehicle. This would be fine in any area at all. I would pass licensing in any area at all, just to get that clear. The reason why I and many others done exactly the same thing was to do with speed, really. The price I wasn't worried about. It's just a bonus. It was actually £200 or £300 cheaper. It was the speed of things. I wanted to get on the road and working ASAP. So there is an anti-Uber brigade, and we'll call them the anti-Uber brigade because that's really all they are. They're trying to find ways to stop Uber, to restrain it, to suppress it. They've come up with an idea that they want to stop cross-bordering. So what that would mean is, for me, where, as I said, I was living here, which I am, and I went and got my license over here, I would then have to stay over here, and I could only stay over here. So all jobs would have to be picked up in this area and dropped off in this area. There's no in-betweens. You're going back in time. You're going back stages. Like that's what they want to do. They want to restrict everything. By doing that, they'll be restricting themselves. They won't openly admit that, because they feel this is their only hope now. I'm sure there's nothing else that they could try and throw at Uber's way to disrupt things. And even let me just set the record straight. Even if they do that, as I said, I'm living in here. This is where I want to work, but I've gone to get the license from here because I'm allowed to, and then I can work anywhere. They want to just restrict me to here, then I will go and get my license from here, however long that takes, and I'll still be working in here. And the same for all the other drivers. So what they seem to think is they've got this perception that all the drivers that have been licensed outside of Cardiff, let's just say, because it is Cardiff where everyone is working and operating, that's the main area to get work from. If what they're saying is, what they think is that if you're working in Cardiff but you're licensed from somewhere else, they truly believe that you must live in that area and you're coming here stealing the work. It's not the case. I've lived in Cardiff my whole life, born and bred here, I've not lived anywhere else. And it's the same for all the other drivers. All we've simply done is gone and got our license somewhere else, cheaper, faster, because we were allowed to. Nothing to not you know, the way the system was set up was wrong from the off, because people were allowed to do that, and now all of a sudden they think they want to shut these borders and just keep each of the 22 councils in their own councils. It is a ridiculous idea. It's never going to pass, because, as I say, it's a step back in time, and it will disrupt so many businesses, because you will never be able to go and pick someone up outside of your area and take them somewhere else. And it's just, the freedom of movement is restricted, and it's restricted for the whole private hire market, hackneys included. Nothing, you know, nothing about that is good for anybody, and they know that too. So there are other things that could be happening. The government are looking at doing, so where I said there was 22 different sort of licensing areas, they'll just be the one for the whole of Wales. This is the most common sense thing, and this is what should have been there from the get-go. They will basically be for the whole of Wales, one rule, one price, one time frame. It'll just be the same for every single person to go and get their license, have it renewed the same way, have their vehicle licensed the same way. It'll be straight across the board for the whole of Wales. That's what should happen. Then we can keep the borders open. Then we don't have any issues going ahead in the future. For me, that is most likely what's going to happen. I cannot see how borders being shut was going to help anybody. And you know, when we're talking about borders, you think we're talking about like countries, like from Wales to England or things like that. You're talking about some councils are tiny. They're like, you know, maybe 5 miles in radius. You know, it's stupid. What you'll be doing is making the cake even smaller, and everyone's slice even smaller. Everyone's, not just Uber drivers, everyone, all the local firms, all the hackneys. The hackneys are so funny. They're hilarious. They recently come out saying that cross bordering has actually impacted them so much so that they have to now work unsafe hours. Can you believe that? It's like they're blaming us for Uber being so successful and so appealing to the people. You know, that's the reason why they're losing out. That's the reason why their money's going down. That's the reason why nobody's jumping into hackneys anymore, because they're getting a cheaper, safer, quicker alternative through Uber. You know, there's no doubt about it. That's why it works well globally. You know, they've got to try and find any little excuse that they can to justify their sinking ship. It's a sinking ship, just like many other industries that phase out through time thanks to technology. You know, it's a shame, but those guys know full well they can come and do Uber and make even more money than they're making now, possibly than they've ever made. Like, that's the truth of the matter. Whether they want to believe that or not, I don't care. I really don't care. This is the way it's going, and you know me, I just like to talk straight and tell people exactly how it is. So am I worried about it? No. Do I think, you know, I'm doing personally something wrong? No. You know, I've done exactly what I've been allowed to do because of the current setup. I think there should be a change to the current setup so people can't do that. It's just one licensing authority for the whole of Wales. and everyone's under the same branch. Then doesn't matter who you work for, everyone will be under that same umbrella. So there'll be no complaints, no arguments whatsoever. We just hit 10 minutes. I wasn't sure if the video was going to cut out, but it hasn't. So on that note, 10 minutes, it's a bit of a long video. I don't like to keep these videos too long, but there was a lot to talk about here. I just wanted to talk about this whole cross-bordering thing. And you know, there's people out there day and night fighting. They putting stickers in their window, pieces of paper in their taxi window saying stop cross-bordering, this, that and the other. They don't understand that they need cross-bordering to happen. They need it. They can't, you know, you can't go on with that small chunk of the pie. You need to open it up, and that's, you know, essentially how many businesses have operated so well. So restricting it won't be good for anyone. Very slim chance that's going to happen. Very, very slim chance, because even if it does, there'll be appeals backwards, you know, back to them. Things will start falling, going pear-shaped, and then they'll be able to say, right, this doesn't work, borders back open, we're going to try it our way. But I don't even think it's going to get to that, honestly. That's just, it just boggles my mind to think that people want to drag us back like 10 steps so that they suddenly think that they'll be the ones prevailing. Even if they drag us back 20 steps, people are still going to go to their phone. Most people aren't going to know the difference, are they? Let's be honest. It's not going to go, ooh, cross-bordering is not available anymore. Let me go and jump in our Hackney over there. Come on. They're going to go to their phone, search for an Uber, and there's going to be Ubers there. There's still going to be hundreds of drivers in Cardiff that are going to be licensed by Cardiff Council that are still going to be operating. They may clean up during the time that it takes for us to get our licenses to the correct jurisdiction and have all that crap changed, which is just going to be a ball ache. But as I say, guys, it's not going to happen, and even if it did, it wouldn't hamper what the people are going to decide to do anyway. People aren't going to suddenly go, they won't even know. Most people will not even know. I've spoke to people vaguely about it before in a taxi. What do you think about this? And they think it's ridiculous, but they've never heard of it as well. So that's the video wrapped up. 12 minutes, fucking hell. Sorry for the long ass video here, guys, but just wanted to cover it. Thank you for watching. I got a pretty good video coming up soon. It's I don't want to give too much away, but it's something to do with me doing Uber for 1 year, so that'll be good. Anyway, I'll see you later, guys. All the best.